We're talking about DirectX 11, talking about PC gaming, because this is an incredibly exciting time in PC gaming specifically. Consoles are kind of mid-cycle now, so if you're into console gaming, you're kind of hitting the limits now of performance. So people that are at the cutting edge of tech, gamers, people working on the technology side, games developers, all the exciting stuff now is going to start happening on PC from now over the next couple of years. And with Windows 7 coming out and DX11 coming out, we're now seeing the fruits of that, the early fruits. And today is an opportunity to get people around a table involved in all parts of this, just to see where we are now, a snapshot of today, and what we can expect in the future. And the important thing to remember is, for gamers sat at home in front of these games, playing them, brilliant, they're exciting, but they don't just happen by magic. These games only happen because on the hardware side, on the development side, everybody on the retail side even, everybody is constantly talking, everybody is in dialogue, and all of these different elements work together and hopefully all align, and when they all click in place, that's when you get the really exciting, amazing, cutting-edge gaming experiences.
It's a whole ecosystem making games. We need the game developers, we need the publishers, the hardware manufacturers, the vendors of the graphics card. Everyone has got to work together very closely to make games.
Okay, so the fundamental relationship that we have in this industry, where graphics chips and PCs and games all come together, is driven actually by the relationship between the hardware company that produces hardware that's going to be cool and the games company that develops the software that's going to make that hardware show off. So we have relationships which have lasted decades, certainly over a decade, between people like Codemasters and Rebellion and others too. Absolutely fundamental to our business. If we don't know what they're doing, we can't produce a graphics chip that's going to give an excellent experience. And if they don't know what we're doing, they can't aim in the right kind of place. So we have a wonderful dialogue between them.
Sure. A lot of people have asked us, basically, what's the value of what you do with developers? And I would tell them it's absolutely critical. It's absolutely critical because at the end of the day, the software is what sells hardware. We have to make sure that we're working with the top developers in the world, because if we don't, then we won't see the kind of progress, the innovation that I think is out there, that's potentially out there. So we make sure that we invest a lot of time, both on the technical side, as well as on the business and marketing side, to make sure that we're helping the developers to sort of push the industry forward, which I think is healthy for all consumers.
It's a really great opportunity that we've had with AMD. So we've been able to get access to the hardware much earlier than everyone else. And we've been able to bring out Dirt 2 at the same time as the launch of Windows 7 and DirectX 11. So we're really ahead of the game compared to most other people.
I think end users are looking for an experience. They're not so much looking for megahertz and gigahertz anymore. The reality in the old days, and our job was to push out technology based on what we felt was the, like the best, the fastest, the greatest. But I think now what we're looking at more is the immersion of the experience. And I think with the hardware and the games that we've got at the moment, we've really sort of got a nice synergy. In actual fact, the games have caught up with the hardware, so to speak.
So the driving force for an end user choice is typically value for money, a new quality of experience that's ideally dramatically different or better than has been there previously, and I guess certainly for people like me as well, a chance to brag a little to our friends that we have the coolest tech around there.
I think consumers really want better frame rates and more features, and also that sort of enhanced realism. So the latest generation of GPUs gives us much more horsepower, so we can really crank up the resolutions and the multi-sampling levels. And also with DirectX 11 we can do a lot more features as well. So we can get a much better improved level of detail in our games.
I hope we're going to see a lot of DirectX 11 gaming titles, which is very cool because it looks great. The new graphics are very interesting, so I hope that a lot of people who will actually see it somewhere in a store or maybe on TV will want to have it, and I hope we're going to see a lot of mainstream titles that everybody can play.
For this year, I predict a lot of different things will happen. One of those is digital distribution. I think that has been an important issue in the past but it's going to become even more important as we overcome issues with privacy, as well as some of the retail distribution issues that some of the game developers are facing and some of the game consumers are facing. So being able to have a rock solid way of being able to get the games that you want to play, I think, is important to all the consumers. At the same time, I think there's an issue that will be really interesting to watch, and that is the use of open community standards with game development. With the emergence of direct compute, with DirectX 11 and OpenCL, I think you're going to see a lot of really creative approaches to solving some of the issues with game development, and it'll really mean some crazy, fantastical things for consumers.
DirectX 11 gaming is clearly going to be a growing importance, but the point about DirectX 11 gaming is that it's this better experience, this more immersive game. And one of the great things that we've got is this system behind me at the moment with the 3 monitors. This Eyefinity setup is the same thing. It's more immersive experience. You just plug in 3 monitors, it fills your field of view, you're much more in the game. And really that's what we're seeing. With this new hardware from AMD, people are able to, games developers are able to push harder to take their vision and recreate it more fully on a PC experience. So PC gaming is alive and well. I think people are going to have a lot of fun with PC gaming this year.
In this room you see people that really love what they do and they drive the industry forward. They're making steps for everybody that they don't realise is being made, so the average consumer will benefit from this a lot, because we take out of these events, we take the small snippets and the small bites that we get from it and we put them into our roadmaps, into our R&D and also our marketing plans.
We find it's very important to talk to other people, because we're often in our little ivory tower making games that we want to play, and we like to know what other people are thinking and the way that they want us to do games. And this is a perfect event for doing that.
The event today has just sort of proven that AMD are really committed to developer relations and the relation that we have. So it's really reinforced, I think, to the press, really, because we know this stuff goes on, but I think it's good to show to the press that there is this very strong bond between the 2 companies.
We covered a huge amount of ground in the session today, lots of different voices. We got some quite heated exchanges, but I think overall the thing I'll take away from it is there seems to be a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of optimism for 2010 and the year of PC gaming, off the back of Windows 7, off the back of DX11. Developers are excited about it, the hardware people are excited about it. Consumers, we think, are going to get more involved in gaming. I think now we're seeing the first fruits of that now with developers, with the games they're making. I think over the course of the year, as they get a lot more comfortable with the hardware, we're going to be seeing gaming and the visual experience, the overall experience pushed a lot further, and that's going to be happening on PC.